Too zoomed in. I thought it was gonna work. Turn. Alright, that might work. We here live. We did not intend on being live, but our card corrupted in the camera and I lost our podcast that we recorded. So I've been squalling all night. And I was like, TJ, we're gonna have to go live and greet these people. So here we are to greet you. Greet you. Let me get up my YouTube here. I'm logging in. There we go. So here we are. Podcast 84. Let me log in and log out. All this stuff. I got our questions we had from our one we recorded. And I've got all our stuff ready here. Hope y'all are doing alright. I was going to tell you something and I forgot what it was. We just reconstructed a beautiful PSC Triton that came in a grocery bag. Restrung it, re-greased it up, got everything leveled up, nice looking. She's ready to shoot. So I am proud of that. It went from a BiLo bag. I wanted to do a before and after picture, but I forgot about it. It went from a BiLo bag to a shootable bow in about 30 minutes. I'm going to go through our questions here from our podcast. The first one was, should I buy?
I don't know. On mine. There we go. We back.
We back. We had something going on.
I mean, most everything is right wing anyway. That we use. I mean, we hadn't really.
Yeah, most factory fletching is an offset to the right. Most people seem to do a right helical. I'd say get the right helical because you can still take some of the offset off, or get a straight and kind of offset it either way. And there's on a compound bow really not a big deal if you go which helical you use. On a recurve there is, you gotta make sure the arrow's not turning into the shelf, so you'd use right helical for right-handed shoot.
Yeah.
And so I'd go straight or right if it was me. What's going on, Matt?
Yeah, what's up?
Our next question was, Matt, I was just telling him we recorded a whole fancy podcast and our card corrupted or whatever and deleted the whole thing, so here we are live.
What up, Muddy?
Muddy Ducks. Are Chinese lighted knocks any good?
No.
They're not, but I did have David Velez text me last night. Hang on a minute, I'm bringing it up. He said he thinks he might have found some that are good, but we have yet to see them.
I know John Partain that helps us some. He bought some, and it wasn't but 2 or 3 shots, and the back of the knock and the throat was already separated.
Yeah, they were about to blow his bow up. David bought Deep Power Universal Fit lighted knocks 4-pack for $17 on Amazon, and he said so far they're doing good. But in our testing, I hadn't tried the Deep Powers, but the other ones we have not had good luck with. The throats open up, or the batteries don't work, or something crazy. Where did you fly to, Eric? If you bare shaft, I need to do more testing on this, because in my initial testing, the way most people twist a string like we do, which is to the right, if you're holding it in front of you, you twist the right side to the right or clockwise, your arrow will usually spin to the left. So that would mean you'd probably want to put a left helical. But, and I just did a real quick test on this and it was true. Paige Pierce put out a thing and said that's BS, that she figured out something else, and I hadn't really watched what she said, but
I hadn't either.
I know America's Best twist it the opposite way. They twist them left, so you'd put a right helical, I guess. What's going on, everybody? Went to Indianapolis. We've been there several times.
Yep.
We have been there. Good old Indy. What time is April? It's probably a good time of year to be in Indy.
Yeah.
Except for, I guess, they're still probably locked down. What's going on, Devin? Left at 7 a.m. Did what we need to do, back by 3:30. Holy crap.
Darn.
We've drove up there when we go to the archery show, but I have considered flying if it wasn't so dang, I never can find a good price. TJ's not getting on the plane.
Nope.
He's out. Let's see what our other question was. Oh, we talked about Levi Morgan.
Yeah, Levi making the switch over to Excel.
He's in Flip to Excel shooting their sights. We don't know what the status with True Ball is, but we think, just from guessing around, that he's probably designing a release, and they're going to announce at some later date that he's with True Ball as well. But so far, it's just Excel.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see him, because they said at the what was it, Indoor Nationals or whatever the last indoor shoot was, they said that he was shooting, or might have been an ASA, might have been the last ASA, he was shooting like a Frankenstein release of some sort.
Yeah, I've been to the Speedway a couple times. Actually, last time I was there, it was covered in snow. I don't mind taking a good flight. I really don't. I hadn't took one in a while. We need to go to Vegas.
Y'all have fun.
What do y'all? TJ could go to Vegas today. What do y'all think about his beard trim up? I'm so proud of him. I could give him a sugar on the mouth. What do y'all think?
Yep. I needed the little trim, so now they grow twice as fast.
Let's see, somebody asked, can limbs be custom made for any particular bow? And the answer is, not really from the manufacturer most times, but if you'll Google Barnsdale limbs, they will, I don't know how much these days, but they'll custom make you whatever you want. They're the people that made the Bowtech Destroyer limbs. A lot of them, when they were cracking, you could order them from Barnsdale, and they wouldn't crack. And they were about $150.
And then I think we also talked about the same question, like if you're wanting like limb decals, if that's what, kind of doing. I know Tracy Meeks is on Facebook. He does a lot of doing some limb decals and stuff like that. He would be the one I'd probably reach out to find out how he does it. But, and then, if you do that, like One Stringer, they can get you fixed up with limb decals and stuff like that.
When are you going to Florida, Devin? For the big marriage, the honeymoon, the whole 9 yards. He's abandoning his archery folks, going to Florida.
Good old Florida.
Somebody said, "What's the best? Tools should I carry going on a travel hunt in another state?"
I mean, of course, you want to take, extra Allen wrenches or torque wrenches, depending on if your draw mod has torques. I know some of the PSCs still do. Extra loop material, some extra serving, lighted nocks. If you got a portable bow press, that would be good. Maybe some extra, I would say extra fletchings, but you can get those quick fletch. Those would be good to have on hand.
Yeah. At a minimum, you're gonna want like Allen wrenches, fletching. We were talking about like I'd take an extra set of strings. I mean, I wouldn't want to fly to like Colorado and then accidentally nick my string on something and be screwed. So I'd take like a portable bow press, extra set of strings, extra arrows, extra broadheads, Allen wrenches, any wrench that fits any part of your bow, string wax, a lighter, loop material, serving material. 2 Devons are on here. 17th is the big day. Will it be streamed on the Palmetto Outdoor Experience? That is the question.
Yep.
Let's see.
204 error.
Oh yeah, I missed that quick. I think what I'm gonna do is finish the standard size arrows, which will be the Zombie Slayer. Might just be the Zombie Slayer now. And then I'll start stepping down to smaller stuff and do like Rampage, Renegade, Spartan. It's a hard one. Like I like the Spartans are a little bit bigger, but you get to use the insert. The Rampages, it's hard to say. if I was going to shoot rampages, I don't know if I'd shoot the half out or if I'd put an axis insert in it. I don't know what I would do. It's hard to say. And we've put the deep 6 insert in the X Impacts, which is even smaller, but you gotta sand them a little bit, and we've had mixed reviews, so I don't know. Let's see. It's okay, Michael. We wasn't planning on going live. We recorded this big fancy podcast, and our SD card corrupted or whatever, and I tried to save it and it didn't work, so I was like, we'll just have to go live.
Yep.
So, where y'all going? Y'all going somewhere in Florida, right, Devin? Let's see here. What is our favorite budget quiver?
I wish they'd have gave us a price range on the budget from like
Budget. I'm gonna list a couple. That 5-spot from Trophy Ridge, a quick quiver, and then a little bit more of that Alpine soft lock.
And now, I mean, if you're talking, let's say between 65 and $100, you definitely throw in the Talon Quiver by Conquest. You can throw in the Hex Light Quiver from Trophy Ridge. I'm trying to think.
Let me think. And that's probably my middle of the road picks.
Yeah.
And then you get up into the tight spots and brand name like Prime and Matthews and whatever quivers, and you get 150 plus.
Well, and you also got Tree Limb. I don't know if they're still around or not.
Let me look them up. I ain't ordered anything from them in a while. They had some quivers kind of priced all over the place.
He said Disney.
Good old Disney World. My wife's wanting to go. I need to get us a trip planned. Let's see what these things cost. I hadn't ordered any of these by now.
I hadn't.
That ain't bad. Okay, so they're standard, what they're calling a standard quiver is about $50.
Okay.
But then I think they got some high-end stuff too.
They do.
The premium series, let's see what they cost. This is Tree Limb. Oh yeah, we up around 120. Yeah, I like Tree Limb and sword sights and all that good stuff. I'd sold some, when we had Obsession, I ordered some Tree Limb stuff to match it, and then I honestly just kind of forgot about them. I guess I need to get back in with them. What is the best starter recurve?
Probably the Samick Sage. It's probably just your best all-around starter.
Yeah, we did a video on it. I think they're about $130. So you'd be at 175, 200 with arrows and the recurve and a shooting glove and all that good stuff. What do you think, man? Is that We've seen it so far popular for like long draw length folks. We had a guy come in with a big old draw length, and we had another guy come in with a big old draw length. I need to snag one, and maybe I've had several people ask me about like a bow review on it, so maybe the next one that comes in we can video something about.
That bow, that Atlas is probably I can't remember what the actual 35. So it's going to be an all around bow. And what was the draw length? It's like 32 or 33 is the longest draw on it. I think it only goes to 28. I think it was.
Specs. It goes 29.5 to 34.
Okay, so for somebody with that long of a draw, that's going to be basically your all-around bow. You get anything shorter than that with a longer draw, you're going to really play in with some peep angles.
Yeah, and you may not can even get the peep up high enough.
Yeah.
Somebody asks, is there any way to fix a warped limb on a recurve bow? The only way I've heard of and never tried is to take a warm, damp bath towel, pretty much wrap it around the limb, and then counter twist it whichever way it's warped and leave it for a while and maybe do that a few times. I've never tried it, but I've heard it works. I'd still be cautious if it did work and, you know, shoot it and watch it type thing. But usually I think that happens because people leave them strung up and sometimes leave them in a hot car or a hot building or whatever. That's probably a big one. You know, they just leave it out in the shop and it gets jacked up. But definitely look for any like stress fractures in the limb or, you know, coatings broke coming, you know, something that just means something bad's happening. You might not want to shoot it.
And I guess the way that most everybody done it is, you know, putting it between your leg and bending it. That'll warp a limb too.
Yeah, it sure will. I seen a recurve one time break at the handle in a guy's hand. It was crazy. It was rusty. It was crazy.
Must have been a cracked limb or something already been cracking.
Yeah. Let's see. We just heard word that Devin, who is the Palmetto Outdoor Experience on here, has ordered a target bow. That could be interesting.
Could be.
Expect full videos coming soon. I was at Lowe's last night, and guess what I found? Hey, some thick, like 3 times as thick paper like we use for the paper tuner. So I'm going to have to cut this a little bit. But I just hadn't been a fan of that flimsy paper we've been using because sometimes it just acts weird. There it goes. So anyway, we'll get that going. That'll be good. I seen it and I was like, that looks thicker, and I felt it and I was like, oh yeah.
Break out the hacksaw.
That or just hit it with this miter saw or something.
Yeah.
And we can make it as wide as we want, so that'd be cool.
Yeah.
The PSC shoot down. Hopefully we didn't go away. It just started buffering on us.
Buffering. We're good.
Alright. I'm curious to see how your compressed bale targets last over time. Because if they last pretty good, we might put them out here at the shop. And I mean, I've seen like at Kiwi some compressed bales a long time ago and that sort of thing. And it works, but it seemed like the weather kind of messed with them. But if it don't, I'm in. We're trying to figure out a new target system to put out here at our 20-yard. We got like, it's outside, but it's under that shed. We got like 10 lanes. We've been using the blob targets, but they're about shot up. And I don't want to spend a couple grand on like blocks or some crazy target. So yeah, for the money, I don't think you could beat them. I was thinking if it works for a while, I was thinking about, you know, stacking them about 2 high and running them probably 20 or 30 foot. But yeah, that's a good price. That is a good price.
That it is.
Let me see here. I think that was the last question I had for our regular podcast. Let me put them here.
About ready to go to bed myself.
I could probably take a good nap. The pollen still hadn't hit me, but I can tell I've sucked it in.
Yeah, I was gonna pressure wash the house this weekend, but not with all this pollen and
I'll be glad when it's gone.
Ain't no sense in doing that yet. And plus, I'm fixing to cut grass for the first time, so it's gonna be all over the place.
Do not look forward. Usually, I don't know. I don't want to jinx myself, but usually by now I'm already eyes are swollen up, can't breathe, gasping for air. Don't know.
Springtime normally don't bother me a whole lot. It's the fall when the ragweed comes out. That's when it gets me.
Usually both get me.
I say that and then I'll get hit with it. But
Let me think. I gotta do a third. I think coming up, I'll do some more arrow videos, and then I gotta do the Nexus 4, Nexus 6 video. Then I'm gonna jump to some bear stuff, and then I've already recorded a restringing video or two. I'm just kind of holding them because they're probably the boringest of anything. Talking about bowstring will prime bows, something with their inner strings. It seems like most people have decent luck with the prime strings, but I know a couple weeks ago we had somebody come in and that I think theirs was separating a couple Saturdays ago, and it was a factory set. For the most part, they have good luck, but I think most people that switch them out want to switch them out for the colors. You know what I mean? Like they want a red set or a blue or a green or whatever. So that's what we see the most of. I mean, from what I know, they make them in house. I know they. I've talked to them a little bit about it. They pre-stretch them and that sort of thing. They're using Halo, which is good. I'm trying to think, really, other than the occasional where it goes through that metal loop, having trouble. I really hadn't seen a ton of them with peak twist or anything like that. But I mean, compared to like even Bear or PSE's higher end bows with supposedly their better strings, I feel like the prime stuff's a lot better. But what do I hear?
My phone ring.
So for the most part, not bad. Robert, I think I'm on the Facebook page for that. Yes, sir. Yeah, we make some prime strings. Matter of fact, I gotta get my set put together for my blue bow that I hadn't touched. It's been here for 2 months. But anyway, let me click over here, click over there. But yeah, we should, unless something crazy happens, be back live Thursday evening. What else is coming up? I think we got to shoot up at Kiwi here in a couple weeks, 2 weeks.
Next weekend.
Yeah. And so we'll probably try to video that, as long as it's not raining or something. And that's about it. I guess we'll get off here.
Yeah.
Find some food. Go to bed.
Yep.
But thank y'all for tuning in. See y'all Thursday night, unless something crazy happens. And just let us know if we can do anything for you.
See y'all.
See ya.